Hello, Claudia. Uh, can you just give me a second? I think Claudia is adding. Claudia, I think we need to you need to shift the cell phone because it did not work. So you can now make the phone straight because
Okay,
this
so
screen sharing did not happen. So that's why the screen has been your screen has been
okay,
now okay. I think
this is the right
not
way?
no another left.
Okay,
I think yeah, this is okay. This is
this
okay.
is okay.
This is okay.
Perfect.
This is okay.
Let me check.
I think, yeah, this is okay.
Okay, perfect. That's good.
That's good. I'm sorry it has been lost, I think,
Perfect.
due to the internet connectivity, right? The
Yes.
connection was lost and
Okay.
the internet network dropped. Good that you are back. And let's continue the point that you were talking about your childhood and how you felt and what was your moral at the same time. So, and what was worse at the time? Because a lot of the time, the success behind success, there are some darkness as well. We fail
Yeah.
somewhat negative, somewhat disrupted, and a lot of things. What you went through? What was it like?
So I think the biggest challenge that I had was that I felt like I was living in duality. I
Hmm.
felt like I had two lives. So one was the one that I projected, which was this girl that looked like everything was okay. And the other one was the side that nobody knew about, the one where I used to look at myself in the mirror and hate the person I used to see. And I used to see this teenager, this young adult who I felt was ugly. I felt didn't deserve anything in life. I felt wasn't loved by anyone. I felt that was always being set up by people. So I always had some type of victimhood story where, oh, somebody did something to me or it's somebody's fault. You know, playing all those blame games, trying to find someone to hold responsible for my own actions. And it got to the extent that I was suicidal. You know, I was admitted in a mental health hospital for 3 weeks because I didn't care. You know, it got to a point. I mean, think about it. When the biggest cheerleader of your life, who's your mom or your dad, doesn't show any affection, what does that leave to the world? You know, so the way I used to see it is that if I can't trust the people that I love the most, who is there to trust? So I really wanted to end my life. And I have to tell you, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad that that social worker at school that day saved my
Mm.
life. And I have to tell you, she dug in because I did not want to talk. I didn't want to get my mom in trouble. I didn't want to end up getting ACS
Mm.
involved. So I said everything is fine, but I was crying and I was breaking down. I was having a nervous breakdown and she knew something was wrong and she dug until she got me to speak. And the moment I opened up, I feel this lightness. And it was kind of weird because I felt light just because I was able to finally speak my truth and tell someone, hey, I need help. I'm desperate. I don't know what to do anymore. But at the same time, I also knew my mom was going to find out. And I knew that meant punishment, that meant probably another beating. So it was kind of like, you know, catch 22, but I just did it, and everything changed for the better afterwards because it was through that process. You know, I started seeing psychotherapy, you know, a psychotherapist, and it took me about 6 months to open up. But that person helped me a lot because she allowed me to see that I had too much on my plate. She was like, you're 16. You're not supposed to be raising kids. You're not supposed to be helping kids do homework. You're not, which were my siblings. You're not supposed to be the Cinderella of your house, cleaning all day and doing your homework at 10:30 at night because that's when you have a little break. She was like, 16-year-old kids go to school, they study, they go to the movies with their friends. She was like, you're not a child. She's like, you are forced to be an adult before you're even an adult. And it was all that stuff that allowed me to see. But then what happened was that as I learned more about myself, I saw the things that my mom needed help with. So I went to Barnes and Nobles for, I think, a whole year. I used to go every week and I bought so many books, and all the books were to help my mom. And I used to come home my mom. They were all self-help. You should read this. This is so good. This is going to help you. But what I didn't understand is that in her world, she didn't see anything wrong with her. In her world, I was the one that had something wrong. So me giving her a book didn't help her. It was more like, what are you trying to say, that I'm crazy? That's what she used to tell me. And I used to cry and I used to be desperate. And I used to be like, I want to help her so bad. And then I remember my uncle from my father's side told me, and I'm never going to forget that conversation. He said, Claudia, I think what you don't understand is that everyone sees life from different perspectives. And he was like a scoring system. And he told me, right now you're at level 8 in consciousness. Your mom, unfortunately, is level 3. So he said, you cannot expect for her to go to level 8 because her awareness doesn't allow to see beyond her current reality. So he told me, but you've been in level 3. You are in level 8, but at some point you were in level 3. So why don't you go down and see the world from her eyes? And that was my introduction to compassion. That was the first time that I learned that the only way you can change is when you begin to see the world differently. Because when we are always saying, oh, if this person changes, then I can change, or you're expecting for that person to make a decision, it's never going to happen. But if instead you walk through the person's footsteps, then you can see the world from their angle. And only then you can understand why they do the things they do. And only when you can understand why they do the things they do, then you can go through the forgiveness path. And a lot of people have stigma around it and they think forgiveness is not good. But I have to tell you, forgiveness is not about making it right for the other person. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from that energy. That's all it is. And it doesn't justify. It doesn't make it right. If someone
I'm hoping that she'll be back again. So, as you have been listening to Claudia's story, it's quite shocking, and that at some point Claudia wanted to end her life because of the depression, because of the, she has been deprived of family love, the care, and everything that was missing from her life, from the family that who meant. Like her father she lost, and her mother was also not in the present to take care of her. So she came back from the traumatic situation, and that is the story behind the Claudia today on a mission. And I'm really interested to listen from her that what's the mission right now. It's a wonderful mission. You'd be amazed to know what Claudia is doing today. So I'm hopeful that she'll be coming back again. And she also has written a book it's a self-help book. It's called Start Sooner. So this book helps both men and women to take care of a relationship with themselves and co-create the life of their dreams. So that is another way that Claudia is putting her thoughts to help every man and woman possible on this planet Earth. So that is really very, very interesting, and that's what Claudia lives today, and she would like to inspire every day at least a single person on the earth, and that is really her passion, and that is really her mission as well. And that's the beauty, that life presented her, like knocked her down. Somehow she survived, and see what she's doing today. Again, Claudia is back, so I'm taking her. So these are the powerful stories that I'm really inspired every day. And trust me, and what Claudia is doing today is more graceful, is more empowering. So Claudia, we lost you, and again we got you back.
I guess it's part of the game, you can't get stressed out about things like that.
Yeah. The universe does not want you to lose, you see. So
Yeah.
so there is a purpose. So you are on a mission. I was talking about your self-help book that you have written, and what is the purpose of your book, and like you can talk something about so your book, like what you have written on your books and why is that?
So here's the book. I actually have it here, Start Sooner. And that's what it
Mm-hmm.
is. It's just telling you start sooner.
Mm.
There is no need to wait till
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I knew since I was 5